Thanks, Fred. And I've got Denisha Quinlan and Michael Taylor here, and they are from the Festival Fromage, which means that it's going to be a lot of cheese coming up, and that's in November, isn't it, Denisha?
That's right. So we've got a full weekend of activities from the 11th to the 13th of November at the Perth Town Hall and in associated buildings around the city. It's going to be a great event in which cheese becomes the absolute hero for us.
What encouraged you to have a Festival Fromage, a cheese festival? Because I know that, Michael, you are not only are you a cheese maker, but you're also involved in dairy and beer, aren't you?
Absolutely. I've had a long history of making cheese and making beer, and that was reason enough, I thought. But what we wanted to bring is something really high-end, the best cheeses in WA, the best cheeses in the world, so that people get a taste of more than just cheddar cheese, which is really what most people usually just eat.
Yeah, but I guess we're talking about artisan cheesemakers, aren't we? And there are quite a few in WA and certainly over east now. So what is an artisan cheesemaker? What makes them different from, say, the big dairies?
Well, the big dairies produce bulk cheese with a very approachable style that everybody enjoys. It doesn't challenge the palate too much. Artisan cheesemakers take a lot more time. They put love, passion in, and they use some unusual and more difficult techniques to make the cheese. So it can be far more complex. Can be more challenging on the plate and on the nose. Some of them have quite distinct aromas. Yeah, there's one in there. Roquefort
is very tangy.
Absolutely, and these guys are usually really small volume producers. Yeah. But they produce really complex, beautiful cheeses that the large manufacturers just can't.
I'll ask you about some of these cheeses. I know one of them because I've been down there, and there's a sheep cheese there from Cambrai down near Nannup. Can you tell me about that cheese and also these others that we've got here? Because some of them are international, aren't they?
They are, yeah. Well, the Cambrai cheese is fantastic. It's unpasteurised cheese, which is relatively new in Australia. It's a sheep cheese. And it's a true farmhouse, so when we talk about artisanal, this is it. So they manage the sheep, they manage the milking, they manage the manufacture and the ageing as well. So everything is done there, and it's done with passion and love, and that's an absolutely beautiful cheese. It's got a bit of sweetness and a bit of nuttiness to it. Really nice.
And what about this one here? Is that?
That's Comté. That's French cheese. It's aged 18 months, that one. So that's usually priced according to age, funnily enough, which doesn't really make sense, because if it's bad cheese at the start, it's still going to be bad cheese in 18 months. That's a particularly good one.
But there's no bad cheese on this plate.
No, we chose them specifically.
Now, you've got an orange one here, which looks like a camembert or a brie. What's the difference between camembert and brie for a starter?
Well, traditionally it's just wheel size.
Right.
Back 200 years ago, that's all the only difference.
One's a penny farthing and one's a tricycle, is that right?
That's pretty much. One's 3 kilos, one's 250 grams. So, but now it's a bit different. They put cream into brie, and but that one over there, that orange rind, is a real danger sign to the aroma of it. It smells lovely. To me, not to a lot of people, that's really strong. And the way that one's made is that's a washed rind, so they wash it in brine and cognac. Cognac.
Right, that'll be the one I have later.
And one of the most interesting things, I think, when we talk through those cheeses on the platter is part of the experience we want to bring to people. Yeah. Cheese making is an incredibly complex business, even in terms of how it arrives on our shores, the process that goes into it. We've had some amazing forefathers really start introducing new cheeses into Australia, and I think very few people really understand that complexity and the sorts of information that Mick's been talking about, so that's part of what we want to share. And that Roquefort has a really interesting story, doesn't it?
Yeah. In two ways. It was the first unpasteurised milk cheese to be imported into Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a guy by the name of Will Studd, who made from cheese slices
on TV.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
And he fought really hard about 8 years ago to be able to bring that in, because food safety in Australia didn't allow unpasteurised milk products.
Oh. Let's talk more about the festival now, because it's on over the weekend, 11th to 13th of November. And how's it going to work? People go there for a particular session, do they? You're going to have several sessions throughout the weekend, is that right?
So yeah, because within the town hall we are quite restricted on numbers, and we wanted to give people the opportunity to really meet with the artisans and to talk through some of the information we're talking about, but also some of the amazing wholesalers, Simon Johnson, for example, that have helped us today with some of that, those beautiful cheeses. Their knowledge of the industry is so strong. So to enable people to have those conversations, we've broken it into morning, afternoon over the Saturday and Sunday. Plus we'll have a number of degustations, and then we'll also have some of the talks. But the experience for people will really be about grabbing a bottle of wine, buying some cheese, having a sort of taste of everything, pulling it together.
With the cost of the ticket, that allows you to have a taste of all the cheeses, and then you can purchase wine or whatever. And I believe might be having a picnic out.
Yeah, that's our
lawn.
intention, is just to allow people, you know, the whole thing is about starting conversations and having that experience.
Yes.
So enabling people to have the conversations within the hall, take their beautiful things that they've experienced, sit out onto the lawn and just have a really lovely time.
And November's a very nice time of year for sitting out on lawn and having a bit of a cheese picnic, isn't it? The dinners that you're having with the artisan
Degustations,
the degustation dinners, that means that you'll be matching drinks with cheeses, doesn't it?
That's right. So we're hoping to have a beer one, a bubbles one, maybe some spirits, and just break it up a little bit, match the beautiful cheeses, and some of the various, I guess, wholesalers and cheesemakers will own those sessions, and really enable us to try cheese in a way that probably you've never had or experienced, because cheese is actually the hero.
And cheese is a hero, and I can tell you what, I'm salivating right now. So what I'm going to do is, how do people get tickets? What's your website? How much do the tickets cost? And how do people purchase them?
So we'll be releasing tickets on the 1st of September, so please log on to www.festivalfromage.com.au. There's a holding page on there at the moment which will allow you to register for a pre-release of those tickets, and then they'll be available through there. So roughly around $25 entry. The degustations will obviously be a bit more, and a variety of costs for the various cheese making workshops and other activities.
Well, I suggest that I'm famished. I suggest we get stuck into these now. So Fred, back to you.